The best part of the tournament is here. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and the championship is upon us. The first couple of rounds, there's always a lot of unknowns. As you can see, Purdue getting upsetted, Arizona getting upsetted, and multiple teams that were supposed to win not winning. That happens in the initial rounds. But now in these rounds, it gets a lot easier to start detecting who's going to win, who is not going to win. Momentum is a big part of the final rounds of this tournament. I compare March Madness a lot to MLB playoffs. Why? Because just like MLB, put it into example 3-4 years ago when the Washington Nationals won, they weren't the best team all season long. They were actually one of the worst in the beginning of the season, but they picked up momentum right at the end and they started hitting and their chemistry became amazing at the end of the season and they won the championship. And this is how I see March Madness as well. I've seen it like this for the past 4 years and I've done really well in the final stages of it, and we're going to do amazing. This episode and this show is exactly about that. I'm going to give you the predictions of the first 4 games for Thursday's matchups for the Sweet 16s. I love these plays. There's 1 or 2 that I'm going to let you know I like them more than others, but stick through it all because the first 4 games, I'm probably going to win around 3 to 4 of them. So stick through it, watch it, and we're going to start with number 1. My favorite game of all, Michigan State against Kansas State. Who do you think is going to win that game? I personally made the mistake of going against Tom Izzo and Michigan State against USC. Did not make that mistake against Marquette. Why did I do that? Michigan State did not end the season as well as we wanted them to and how I thought they were going to end it. They lost to Ohio State that very last match, and they didn't seem like they had it together just yet. They were playing well, but not to the level they're playing right now. Now you look at them, and that first game against USC, the first half they played pretty shaky. And this is the advantage of having a coach like Tom Izzo on your back and in your team. That second half, that team came out balling. That defense was excellent. They did not let USC breathe. USC was utilizing their pick and roll game a lot and letting Morgan score a lot of the points, which he barely scores. And the second half, he got annihilated. That guy did not do anything. He wasn't able to do anything because your defense stepped up. So let's talk about Michigan State against Kansas State. Look, Kansas State has arguably one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, in Keontae Johnson. That guy could put up buckets. He is a beast. And he's one that could take over a game really late. They also have Noah, which has been playing really well. He had a hell of a game last game. And they have a good team all around. They were actually predicted by most brackets to make it to the Sweet 16s for a reason, because they're one of the best teams right now. Now, they're facing a Michigan State that comes with experience. They have Tom Izzo. Their team is starting to play really well. They have Walker. A very underrated factor of Michigan State is Joey Hauser. That guy can shoot off the picks like nothing. He's a great three-point shooter. And when he scores, I believe, more than 2 3-pointers or 2 3-pointers in the first half, they're like 16-1. Now, little trends for you guys. Kansas State and Michigan State has played 7 times since the 1950s. And Michigan State has won 5 of those games. I don't know if you like trends or not, but that's a trend to follow. Michigan State has the experience. They have the coach. They have the momentum. And they have the players. They're a tough team, a big team, a very strong team. Multiple players can really pick it up and start scoring. Malik Hall is an animal. You got Joey Hauser that can put up points. You got Tyson Walker. Has been balling, guys. He is honestly, for me, the top 2 players in that team. That's probably going to make a big difference in that game. So from that game, Michigan State, Kansas State, I'm taking Michigan State to win that game and money line. I love that play. I think Michigan State moves on. They made a big statement against Marquette, and now they're going to move on and beat Kansas State. I know most people are probably going Kansas State with the way they're playing right now, but at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning of this really goes into momentum. Momentum is a big part of this tournament right now. Who's feeling well? Who is feeling like they can go and attack and win the game? And with Tom Izzo on your team, there's no doubt they're feeling that way. And the way they're playing, they're probably going to win. So first pick for Michigan State against Kansas State, Michigan State to win and move on. Now let's move to game 2, which this game, I don't love it. And I'm going to give you guys the pick and who I think is going to move on, but it's a very 50-50 game. Arkansas against UConn. Look, UConn should win that game. Personally, I think UConn should win that game. And if they play well, had they been playing all season, rebounding the ball well, attacking the paint, they're going to win, most likely than not. But Arkansas is carrying, again, a big key here, momentum. They just beat Kansas. And I know most people are overhyping this win against Kansas. Personally, I know Kansas was one of the favorites to win the tournament, but I think they've been overhyped the whole season. I think they're very inconsistent. One game they play really well, one game they don't. And Wilson can't carry every game. Wilson is an animal. I think he's going to be a stud in the NBA, and he plays well most games, but he can't do it all. Dick has to come in and start doing something well. Harris has to do something well at times too, and they just didn't. Arkansas came in the second half, they played well, and they beat them, and now they have the momentum going in. Davis had a hell of a game that game. You have a couple players that had a hell of a game for Arkansas. Their defense came out playing really well. And I think if they come out the same way like they played Kansas, this game could be a lot closer than most expect. And an upset can happen. Look, I don't love this, and I'm going to give you guys this, but I can see Arkansas winning this game. And for that reason, I'm going to take Arkansas plus 3.5 for that game. I know. I think UConn can win as well, but it's March Madness, guys. I mean, it's unpredictable. Teams that are coming out shooting great threes and playing the best ball of their life come into this tournament and start playing like shit. A prime example, Utah State, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. Last week against Missouri, they shot 2 for 20 in threes when they were the fifth best team in 3% percentage. So this tournament brings out the nerves. It's a big stage for a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and nerves can come into play. And that's why 3.5, I think, is a gift. And I'm going to lean with 3.5. Now, let's be real here, and let's talk about one key player that it's going to dominate this game, and that's Sanogo. He's their best player. He's a player that's probably going to put up 20 points. He out rebounds everybody, and he's going to out rebound everybody in Arkansas. If I were to play a prop, which I don't really do, I would play his over points. He is undisputably the strongest player in that game, and he's going to out rebound and just crush the boards. So that's the reason why I also lean a lot with UConn winning, but why I take the 3.5 points, because it's going to be a close game, guys. That game is going to be a one-possession game. And if it's a one-possession game where Arkansas can win, you take the 3.5 points. Money's coming in on UConn as well. And again, 50-50. I like Michigan State way more than Arkansas here, but just giving you guys the play. Arkansas plus 3.5, Michigan State to take game 1. And let's move on to game 3, Tennessee against FAU. FAU playing really well. They're shooting the 3 really, really, really well. They played FDU. They should have won by more. They didn't. FDU just came out hungry, and that defense was sharp. You know, they're that underdog, and they have that mentality that, look, I can't score that many points, but I could defend the hell out of you. And that's what happened. But Florida Atlantic has been playing excellent ball. They're shooting the 3 really well. They hit 9 to 10 3-point shots a game right now. So it's an offensive team. They play really well, but now they're facing Tennessee, baby. Tennessee's about that defense. They play strong ball. That team is a bully ball. To the point that FAU's coach came out after the game saying he was going to study rugby for their games against Tennessee, because Tennessee is a physical team. They will drain you. They are going to beat you up on the boards on defense, and they do not stop hustling. Look, Tennessee is a team that from the very beginning of the season, they've been put up there to make the championship, to be one of the teams to make it to the final rounds for a reason. They played really well last year. They played really well this year as well. They just came from beating Duke, a team that was on the come up, and let's be real, with a lot of momentum. Duke came into the tournament with the most momentum, in my opinion. All their players came in healthy. The chemistry started playing really well. And Tennessee came in and played them really well defensively. Duke scored the lowest points they scored in the first half this season, or like one of the lowest points in the first half this season against Tennessee. Look, who is the key for Tennessee? I might mispronounce his name, but Santiago Vescovi. That kid's an animal, man. He does it all. He shoots the 3, he rebounds, he assists, he knows how to move the ball well, and he keeps Tennessee's team moving. I think that team, if they come out like they came out versus Duke, and defend the same way, the shots are going to go in for them. The offense will take care of himself. It's about the defense. FAU is a really good offensive team. They shoot the three well. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the nation. If you put this team and slow this game down and keep the game in the 60s, low 60s, mid 60s, Tennessee is going to win this game and most likely cover the spread. I'm not touching the spread here. I'm just letting you guys know Tennessee is going to move on here. I think Tennessee, if they play the defense they played against Duke and they have been playing, it won't be close. FAU is a great team. I know that. They came from beating Memphis. They came from beating FDU. But Tennessee's another monster. You're dealing with one of the big boys here, and they haven't played a team like Tennessee this season. And Tennessee's moving on, guys. Like that money line, that's why it's so big. I think the money line is -2 something for Tennessee to win. They're going to take that game, and they're going to move on. So let me do a little recap for Thursday so far. We got Michigan State money line. We got Arkansas plus 3.5. That's going to take that. And for the game 3, we got Tennessee money line. I don't take money lines that are -200 and above. I'm just giving you guys a pick if you guys want to take it. I wouldn't play the money line for Tennessee. I would just put it in a parlay if you guys are feeling comfortable and play it that way. If not, you could play that they're moving on. There's also those options in different books. Now, the final game for the first 4 games is probably one of the best ones. It's Michigan State's game versus Kansas State, and then UCLA Gonzaga, guys. That game for me is probably the best one in the sense offensively, right? It's 2 offensive powerhouse teams, 2 great teams. They've been here before, both of them. The last couple of years, they've had great teams that have made it to the final. They both have players that have experience. Gonzaga has Drew Timme. UCLA has Jaquez, however you guys want to pronounce it, Jaquez. And they're both great teams. Now, to me, I'll make it simple, short, and clear. UCLA will win that game. Gonzaga, to me, is another team that's been overhyped this year. They had a great team, and they've had great teams for the past years, but they don't resemble this year's teams. This year's team is a little softer, not as great. They're a good team, and they're in the Sweet 16 for a reason. But UCLA is another monster. I think UCLA actually puts them down. It's going to be a close game, but I think UCLA pulls away in the second half, and they'll take that, and they'll move on to the Elite Eight. Guys, that was for Thursday's games. I wanted to give you guys my predictions on that. I'm going to recap it. Michigan State, Tom Izzo, guys. Don't think it too much. There's certain games that you don't think too much. Right now, coaching, experience, and momentum is a big key into who's going to move on. And Tom Izzo and Michigan State have that. Not saying Kansas State doesn't have that, but I'm rolling with Michigan State. They're just right now feel hungrier. They're playing tougher. And again, they got Tom Izzo, not like a no-brainer. Joey Hauser, a guy that's going to go to the NBA and play really well. That guy's a great shooter. And yes, Michigan State. Game 2, we had UConn against Arkansas. Like I said, not my favorite game. I do think it's going to be very 50-50. It could go to the end just like it did with Kansas. And if it goes to the end like I thought with Kansas, I took Arkansas against Kansas' spread. Why? Because I also felt the same way. Do I think Kansas had the better shot at winning it? Yeah, but I also thought that the game was going to go down to the wire, and I'd rather have the points at the end. And it played out that way, and I do believe it's going to happen again here. Arkansas is a physical team too. I know UConn's known for their physicality, for rebounding, for being the bigger team, but Arkansas has that as well. And if they come out hungry like they did against Kansas, they can pull the upset and at least cover the spread. Game 3, Tennessee FAU. I think we're all on the same page there. Tennessee's going to take that. Not playing the spread, not playing the money line, but I'm picking Tennessee to move on. They're just a better team, guys. More experience as well. Great defense and just have great chemistry right now. You can tell they're playing with good momentum. FAU is too, but they shouldn't have struggled like they did versus FDU personally. I know FAU came out hungry. They're the underdog. They played them tough, but they shouldn't have played that way. I think Tennessee will take care of business. And lastly, for the first games, UCLA to beat Gonzaga. That game will be close as well, but UCLA will pull away at the end. I think they have the players to do it and the chemistry and the coaching. They have a great team all around. They ended the season hot with momentum. And yeah, I think they're going to move on. I think I probably wouldn't doubt if all of these predictions hit, or at least 3 out of 4, 75%. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and the final matchups are the best time. Data's in. We can see everything, track everything a little bit better. The first couple of rounds are a little more unpredictable, like I mentioned in the start. But now Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four are going to be money. With that said, I know we're talking about basketball, but exciting stuff. MLB starts in 10 days. NBA playoff starts in a month. Going to continue doing these types of videos. If you don't know what I do or who I am, I run a page called AF Sports, sports consultant page on Instagram. We have over 100,000 followers, over 1,000 clients on our Discord channel, and growing. We're very transparent. We post all our results. We make it clear and ethical, and we're one of the best in the business. And we keep it 100% transparent and ethical. We give your money back if you do not profit with us. We actually even offer to cover some of your losses. If you're a first-time member and want to join, shoot me a message on the description below. You'll see my Instagram, my page's Instagram, and all that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys want me to do more of these on YouTube specifically, not necessarily on the podcast, I'll do it more on the NBA games, MLB coming up. And I want to start doing this a little more, interacting with you guys, helping you guys win, giving you guys a little bit of my predictions, not my official plays, but predictions that I believe are going to happen, and help you guys win, right? That's the whole idea. Now, with that said, I hope you enjoy it. You guys didn't see any ad here. I'm not running any ads on this. I don't run it on my show. I don't run it anywhere. I don't like getting told what to do or getting told what not to say from some sort of ad that's paying me. So I don't do that. And I think it's annoying. So if you enjoyed this, please, please, please do me a favor and share it. And with that said, I hope you enjoy it and see you next time. Let's crush the Sweet 16s and move on to Elite 8. See you next time.